This is my last for when I make adult drinks. I'm sober, honey. After watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I wanted to go and rank all 32 MCU movies from worst to best. Buckle in, let's do it.
I could do this all day.
The worst MCU movie? Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder took the humor of Ragnarok, put it on steroids, and blew it up. It was too goofy for me, too obnoxious. I hated the story, and you wasted Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. When people make fun of Phase 4 and the MCU's downfall, Thor Love and Thunder is where you should look first. 31. Captain Marvel. Besides Nick Fury, this whole movie was forgettable. Captain Marvel's character development was weak, and her villain, I don't even remember his name off the top of my head, I cannot lie to you. Number 30, Thor the Dark World. The Dark World also had a terrible villain, Malekith. Know him more for being a meme of being such a bad villain. I think that Thor the Dark World had no personality and it was so dark that it was so unenjoyable at the same time. Next, Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 has its moments in the cool suits and Rhodey's cool. Overall, I forget about it. The Mandarin's terrible. You're finding a theme here. Bad villain? Not a good movie. 28 is Black Widow. Black Widow had a really good start. I love the introduction and showing her family and her upbringing. That was really cool. But then the ending just fell flat. The last half of the movie was so bad. Main problem with this movie though, it's like 5 years too late. This would have been perfect right before Civil War or right after it. Terrible timing. 27. Ant-Man. I know a lot of people that love the original Ant-Man. One of my best friends loves the original. I don't like it at all. I was always disinterested. This is the only MCU movie I have not seen opening weekend, and I didn't miss out on much. I love Paul Rudd. I didn't care for the villains. His story was the movie just is boring to me. Just doesn't hit. At number 26, the original Thor. Thor Love and Thunder, he had way too much personality. He was too vibrant, too crazy, too goofy, too silly. Thor's the opposite. No personality, boring, too stoic, too... Yes, I am the god of thunder. That was the worst impression I've ever done in my entire life. At 25, The Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton. This is like actually the OG of the MCU. I think Iron Man's considered that because that's when things were actually in motion. The Incredible Hulk is good, and Edward Norton, actually I like his adaptation of it, but it just, besides the action and Abomination, the story's kind of boring, it drags. I've rewatched it, I think like 2 years ago. It could barely hold my attention. At 24, Iron Man 2. I don't hate this movie. We're starting to get to the point where I don't hate all these movies and I start to enjoy a lot of them. But it's forgettable. Another forgettable villain with Whiplash Boy. I just don't care. Number 23, the last Thor movie on the list, Ragnarok. I am totally in the minority on this one. I think that Ragnarok, it was the downfall of Thor. He became too goofy. This is where it started. Thor Love and Thunder took it to a whole nother level, but in Ragnarok it was too much. Hulk became funny all of a sudden. This was the Disneyfication of Thor and Hulk. 22, Eternals. Really enjoyed this. It's a slow burn. It's totally different than anything else Marvel's put out. I think it will age like fine wine, just like another movie on this list. I will tell you when that comes up. My biggest problem with the Marvel fans, MCU fans, is this. Okay, whenever certain Marvel movies come out, they'll say, oh my god, another formulaic Marvel movie. They're just cashing in the money now because they know you'll go see it in theaters. Then they do something different with Eternals. Totally different. Then people shit on it saying it's too different, it's too weird. Get back to the normal formula. Make up your mind. Number 21, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp is funny, and it has probably the best and most crazy cutscene in all of the MCU. That's where Paul Rudd gets stuck in the quantum realm because everybody else got dusted during the snap. Ghost is a really cool villain. Having Lawrence Fishburne in there was really cool too, but it's not one that I'm like thinking about the next day. After it's over, I'm like, yeah, whatever. We're entering the top 20. 20, Ant-Man Quantumania. Kang's it. That's it. That's the only thing I liked. That ending fight scene between Ant-Man was so badass. The cutscenes are awesome there. 19, I have Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Multiverse of Madness was really fun. I enjoyed my time in the theater. There are a lot of plot holes though. This is a movie where Sam Raimi's style directing, you saw it through and through. Zoom-in camera shots of people's faces, the very cheesy transitions. That's very Sam Raimi. I enjoyed this movie for that aspect, but overall, when this movie was over, I kind of just thought, where is the MCU going with this multiverse stuff? It's too much, it's too confusing. I am a diehard MCU fan. I don't know what the hell's going on sometimes. Number 18, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is the worst of the trilogy. Still good, it's the worst though. Some things that I really didn't like about was Drax's humor was way too much. If you can't tell, that's a theme with me. I hate forced humor. I loved Ego though. I'm not gonna quote it perfectly, don't get mad, but when Ego's like, it sucks that I put that tumor in her, to Star-Lord about his mom. Yeah, Nice dad, buddy. Number 17, Spider-Man Far From Home. It sucks because I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's probably my personal favorite actor. I didn't care for him in this movie. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. He was just kind of eh. Spider-Man was cool. It's fast-paced. It's entertaining. I really liked the action sequences in this. The ending was mind-blowing when you realize that Mysterio exposes him to the world of New York City, puts him on Times Square on the big TV screen. That was crazy. Enjoyed the movie, but it is the worst of the Spider-Man. 16, Black Panther. I don't have it as high on a lot of people's lists. It's a very common top 10 MCU movie. I didn't love Killmonger. I like Claw. I like Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, of course. I like Okoye. I like Shuri. I like M'Baku. I just did not care for Killmonger. But the action in this movie is sweet. The soundtrack's awesome. The message is really good. It's not my personal favorite. At 15, we have Doctor Strange. I really liked watching this cocky, conceited asshole get brought back down to earth. I hate cocky characters. I've had issues with Iron Man back in the day. I can't stand them. Because I wouldn't like them in real life, is the thing. Watching Stephen Strange get brought back down to earth and then watching redemption to himself was really cool. And him fighting Dormammu at the end is like the most unique way a superhero has won in almost any comic book movie I've seen. Number 14, what got me into the MCU? Captain America, the First Avenger. I wish the pace was a little bit faster, but I do love this movie. The World War II montage and fight scenes is so badass. And Captain America is what every guy wants to be, but isn't good enough to be. That's why he's awesome. This is a guy you would meet and love. He wants to serve his country so bad, he wants to help World War II, but he's just too scrawny and blah, blah, blah. He comes back up, and he's this big badass, like, ah! Love Captain America, I'm Team Cap, baby. Number 13, Spider-Man Homecoming. Homecoming is my favorite Spider-Man origin story. It's better than Tobey Maguire's, it's way better than Andrew Garfield's. Liked the play with Tony Stark as kind of like the father figure instead of an Uncle Ben. The main reason this is top 15 for me is Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton kills this role. He's also a villain that has good reason to be a villain. If you made it halfway through this video, that means I've entertained you at least like 50%. Why don't you like and subscribe and follow for more? 12, Wakanda Forever. I think this is a great sequel to Black Panther. Namor, or cool Khan. That was a terrible impression too. I love Namor. He has one of the most menacing lines in all of the MCU when he says, "You are the queen now." So dark, so badass. The biggest flaw with this movie for me is they don't kill each other. So you could have had Namor win. This movie would be ranked much higher for me if Namor won that fight. Take a risk and make the bad guy win every once in a while. It works out. Number 11, what started it all? Iron Man. Iron Man is the OG. Built a super suit in a cave with scraps, as everyone knows. I really do enjoy this movie. You can go back and rewatch this one. It stands the test of time. Great movie. You're now entering the top 10. This glass is sweet. This is my glass for when I make adult drinks. I'm sober, honey. Starting off at number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy. These are C-list heroes. Like, I had never heard of them in my life, and James Gunn made them household names after this. This movie is hilarious. It's heartwarming. Really, my only problem with this movie, my personal opinion, is this. The dance-off final battle. It's funny. It didn't work for me that much. I think Guardians 2 and 3 have much better ending battles. When I rewatched it recently, I was just like, it's kind of lame. Coming in at number 9, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The hand-to-hand combat in this movie is peak. He is so cool. You watch his tragic backstory. His father, the real Mandarin, not the Iron Man 3 bullshit. He's so cool. And he's another character like Vulture that's a villain, but like not really. He just wants to see his wife again. He was a terrible father. But is he a bad guy? I don't know. Coming in at number 8, Age of Ultron. Okay, if you remember from earlier, if you've watched this whole video, thank you. Age of Ultron is the movie that has aged like fine wine, like I think the Eternals will. I think because it was leading so much to the future, and the Russo brothers capped that off in Infinity War and Endgame so well, Age of Ultron is so much fun to go back and watch. Ultron himself is awesome. The introduction of Wanda and Quicksilver and just got blasted many holes through them. Watching them get introduced again is so much fun too. Coming in at number 7, The Avengers. Simply put, how this movie was executed for the time it was made in 2012 was perfection. You had 6 heroes coming together. They gelled so perfectly. I loved watching Thor and Hulk fight each other. The tenseness between Captain America and Iron Man was awesome. This movie was great. Loki was great. Amazing final battle scene. Number 6, the newest addition to all of the MCU, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is the most emotional superhero movie I've ever seen. I don't cry at a lot of movies because I'm a tough guy. But this movie had me very close to crying. If I was at home watching it, probably would have. But, I was in a packed theater, and that kind of, I try to keep my emotions in check. The ending of this trilogy was perfect. Great movie. I don't want to say much more because it's still new. Please go watch it. Coming in at number 5, top 5, Captain America, Winter Soldier. This is a brilliantly done spy thriller movie. Take away the MCU and superheroes in that world, this movie would still be considered great. The hand-to-hand combat's awesome. The twists and the turns are awesome. The character development's awesome. This movie has so much in a grounded street-level superhero movie. This movie also stands the test of time. At number 4, Avengers Endgame. I love Endgame, and I've grown more appreciation for it as time has gone on. Endgame is an amazing ending to the best saga ever, the Infinity Saga. Number 3, Spider-Man No Way Home. This is fan service done correctly. Had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come into the scene, that's the fan service, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, all that. But it wasn't just a cute little prop. They weren't just there like a Multiverse of Madness with the Illuminati. They played important roles to Tom Holland's growth. This movie was just Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man getting shit on. No aunt, no more friends, no more girlfriend. The theater experience, out of this world. Number 2, Infinity War. Infinity War is a perfect superhero movie. Infinity War is a non-stop 2.5-hour fast-paced thrill ride. The Infinity War ending is the best ending to any superhero movie ever made. One of my favorite endings in any film. Everyone left the theater like, I hate my life. Number 1, it's Captain America Civil War. There are 2 topics in that movie that you can still debate today. Not many movies have that, especially superhero movies. First, the whole movie is kind of a debate between conservatives and liberals. The conservative side of Captain America of should superheroes still have their own control, their own superpowers. The liberal side of it is the government should have control over when and how you use your abilities. That's Iron Man. That is a debate my friends and I still have all the time. More important than that political BS, because I'm not here to talk about that. Are you Team Cap or Team Iron Man when it comes to Bucky? Bucky beat the absolute piss out of his mom and dad. Literally, nice tire, stabbed it, tree, blown up. Iron Man just watches this, right? He looks over at Cap, and Cap's like, yeah, I knew that. What? I love the movie. It's awesome. Whatever side you say you're on, someone's going to roast you. I'm Team Cap. I'm going to make a video on Captain America Civil War soon. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I've been on TikTok for a while. Please go follow that too. It won't disappoint. I'm just here to entertain you. Just join to make fun of me. You can literally subscribe to say, dude, you look so butt right now, and your opinions are terrible.